Dun, dun, dun. We are live. So welcome everyone that isn't watching to the T-Vivor Broadway Final Six Tribal Council. After an immunity competition that happened right after the Tribal Council, Billy won immunity, I think, for the second time in a row, if I'm correct.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, I think I am correct. And with that, we're now at the final six. Super close to the final three or the final two. Cannot confirm or deny. So with that, we are going to start with Billy. So Billy, usually everyone asks, oh, how did you think you needed immunity tonight? And it's just a generic question. My question for you tonight is, after winning 2 in a row, are you afraid that if you don't have immunity next round, your ass is grass?
I think that people are probably going to start thinking that way. Basically, in the game, though, like you said, you can do really well. You can completely blow ass in the next one. And it's not like Real Survivor where it's like, oh, some people are really good at like swimming and like ring diving. Like this isn't like that. Like they could just fucking throw some crazy ass like luck competition or something. Like fortunately for me, these last two were like ones that were like physical, like I could sprint around my house or like I could hold my hands over my head, and those were like physical things. But when it comes to like puzzles and shit like that, I'm ass at it. We saw that in the tiebreaker between me and Will, where I had 33% of it done and he had 100% of it done. And obviously, a Final Four tribal counts, or Final Four immunity and Final Five immunity, they're going to be more like logic based, especially after these last two physical ones. So I don't anticipate in winning these next ones. And if you guys are anticipating on me winning those, you'd be mistaken.
All right. So my next question goes to Lauren. Lauren, Billy said Final Five immunity and Final Four immunity are logic based. Am I taking that to assume that everyone here is thinking it's a Final Three?
Yeah, pretty much. We all pretty much assume it.
All right, so with a final three, are you afraid that there might be a close-knit group of 3 and you're not involved in that group? And if there is a close-knit group of 3 and you are involved in that group, are you afraid if that other person wins at Final Four, you're going to be the one out?
To be honest, I think I would be getting 4th.
Well, that's not true, so.
Like, I don't know. If you have told me that I'm going to get 4th if I don't vote a certain way.
Who told you you're going to get 4th if you don't vote a certain way?
Like, I don't want to call them out, but like everybody.
The paranoid people on the bottom.
Like, I don't know. Like,
Lauren, can you call them out? Because I'd like to know if it's the same people who told me that I'm getting 4th.
I mean, well,
Please call them out.
Well, some aren't in the game anymore. Like,
Who are the ones in the game that are saying it?
Eli and Will.
stop. I don't want
Confirm or
to.
deny.
I don't want to like say who.
Okay, well, since you're not going to give us any more details, I'll go to Eli Ortiz. So now that, okay, since I asked this question in all of the previous tribal councils, and every time I've asked this, almost all the answers were like, fuck you, it's not this, we're not considering it, we're not factoring this factor in yet. But now that we're here, have we started thinking about who has jury votes and who doesn't have jury votes? Because I don't know about y'all, but when I played, I signed up to win. And I didn't sign up to be buddy two shoes with my friends and all hold hands, Peachy in the final 3, and then lose a jury vote. So have y'all started to consider who has the jury votes and who doesn't, Eli? And you have no sound. Am I the only one?
No, I can't hear him either.
Yeah, I don't hear him.
You might have to like reload in. While you're doing that, while you're handling your sound issues, I'll move over to Leia. Leia, it's the same question. Have you thought about jury votes? Or are you just more concerned on getting to the end?
I'm pretty sure I have no jury votes.
Do you think, people here have jury votes?
Huh?
Do you think people here have, like, some people have jury votes, like, locked and loaded?
I don't know. I just know for a fact that I don't have any, except maybe, like, Nick, because I wasn't allowed to vote whenever he was voted out.
Okay. So, Will, How do you assess, like, at this point, like, and like a tier, like getting to the end versus jury votes, like sometimes it can, if you have to pick one or the other because might be forced to make a move, do you think that people are going to start just turning on the people that they think have jury votes, or do you think there's like a set core that is trying to take this game to the end regardless of who in that core would win?
I think it's like a mix of both. There is a core of people who are trying to make it to the end, but it's not just 3 people. So I don't know who's going to be the 3 that make it to the end at the end of the day. And then there's like, in that core, I feel like there's certain people who would win over others, like 100%.
Okay, Dev?
Yes.
So okay, so if there is a core, and you mentioned the paranoid people on the bottom, you want to tell me who this core is?
Right. I'll just keep it 100. It's pretty much Will and Eli on the bottom. So
Okay.
there's 4 of us. It's Billy, Leia, Lauren, and I.
So let's just assume everything goes perfectly for you 4. Nothing, no twist or anything happens. No one plays an idol. And you're sitting at Final 4. Do you trust your chances of making Final 3 at that point?
Yeah.
All right. So if you trust your chances, I'm just going to go back to Lauren. So Lauren, Dev trusts his chances. All right. So he thinks he's the least at the top of that totem pole.
Yeah.
So one of the 4 of you would have to be on the bottom because it's not like all 4 of you are going to magically make finals. So if he's confident now of him being in finals, are you that confident?
No, not completely. I want to be.
Oh,
but
she should be. She should be.
All right. So, okay. So Dev and Lauren, Dev says Lauren should feel confident. That means Leia or Billy, we'll go to Leia first. One of you shouldn't feel confident. Have you all started thinking about that possible 4 scenario, or even at 5, if the odd man out wins immunity? Has that really crossed your mind yet, Leia? I don't know where she went. Everyone's disappearing on me. Well, I'll go to Billy. So has that?
She's not here.
I know. I think she dropped. Have you been considering that? Because Dev seems pretty certain he's making it to the end, and he seems pretty certain that Lauren will be there with him. So if y'all are really a tight 4, do you feel certain that you're in that group at the finals?
It's really, what I see with this Final 4 is that it comes down to whoever wins the last immunity and who people want to sit with at the end. Myself, I don't see any of the other 5 people in this game wanting to sit next to me at the end. I think they should want to sit next to me at the end because I've been an arrogant asshole all game and people hate me on the jury. And they've verbally said, unfortunately, I think Billy's going to make it to the end. And if you go back and you watch those after shows, especially that binge one that had like Banner, Marcus, Kendall popped in, they all like were shit talking me, but saying that they thought I was going to make it to the end. If you're fucking thinking of that as me having jury votes, you're sadly mistaken. So do I think I would be a target if I don't win an immunity? Probably, but I'm doing everything I can to prove loyalty right now. And if it comes down to me getting 4th in Final 4, I think that's a big mistake because if it's a Final 3, I will get 2 votes at most. I have AJ and I have somebody throwing a pity vote, and that's essentially it. I don't think I could beat anybody in this cast at the end.
All right, so my next question, Eli, can you say something so I can make sure you have volume? Hello? Is Eli Ortiz there? Are you speaking?
I think it says he's muted.
Well, now you're unmuted. Try now.
Try using Safari. That's what works for me.
Yeah, try a different browser. We'll just come back to you. I can ask Will the next question. Okay, so Will. One thing that poor Eli can't get his sound to work sitting there. Okay, so we hear Billy talking about Final 4, but there's the potential that someone in the tight 4 could go at Final 5, and I don't think any one of them has really talked about that. Like I said, if the odd man man out wins immunity. And if that odd man out won immunity twice, then 2 people at that core are now their ass is grass. So do you think there are people, who do you think out of that 4 should be concerned? Honestly.
Assuming they win at final 5, or like if I go and Eli wins
who do you
final
think,
5 and final 4.
Yeah. Who should be concerned in either of those scenarios if immunity doesn't go the core's way?
Well, I think basically everyone besides Dev.
Okay. So
Thanks.
at this point, is it just Dev's making finals?
I think at this rate, yes, he is 100%.
So Lauren, back to you.
But he didn't answer who's at the bottom because he doesn't know.
Because they're telling everyone that they're on the bottom to try and get people to
Right,
flip.
they're telling Billy he's on the bottom. They're telling Leia she's on the bottom. And they're telling Lauren she's on the bottom.
I didn't
Pick
tell
one.
Leia.
Everyone,
Hold on.
we're all on the bottom. Trying to get all
First of all, I would like to remind you that if I'm asking a question, please don't talk over me. You have plenty of a chance to yell later in the tribal council. Not
Oh,
just
trust me, I'll yell.
because it's pretty fucking rude. But
Oh,
one, there can't be a core without someone being on the bottom. That is 100%. We all know that. You could be 10 years old and watch Survivor and understand the concept of only 3 make finals. So someone is on the bottom, but there are no answers yet. My question to Eli. Eli, are you functional? You're not functional? Okay, well, I'll ask Leia then. Leia, my question is, are there, how do you juggle the argument that Billy makes that he won't get any jury votes, so take him to the end? Because while he's maybe he's not a threat to win the game, he could potentially be a threat to someone wanting to make finals if everyone's dead set on taking him. Then the pool, if Dev's 100% making finals and people are going to take Billy because he has no jury votes, we're sitting at you, Will, Lauren, and Eli competing for one spot. So how do you just like assess the overall situation? Because from what I hear and gather is that there's a tight group of Billy, Lauren, Dev, and you. Will and Eli are on the outs. Is what I'm reading here correct, Amundo?
Yeah, you're correct, I guess. But like Billy said, he's not getting any votes. I'm sure he is getting some votes, and it might not be like the majority, but he will still get some votes. And yeah, sorry, I'm like not up for this right now. I have the biggest headache.
Okay. So, Will, let's say things don't go as planned. Well, let's say for you and Eli, it's worst case scenario, 4 always sticks together. They win immunity. One's taken out right after the other. Who do you think should be concerned in the final 4, our final 3 about jury votes? Because if you add Will and Eli to the mix, do you think after y'all hit the jury that there's like 100% guaranteed lock on the winner, or are people still kind of up in the air trying to figure out who jury members would be voting for?
I think it's between 2 people, Dev and Billy. No offense to Lauren and Leia, but I think those 2 I would vote for, depending on how these next few tribals go.
Okay.
That's interesting because you guys have also told me that I'm getting 5th if I lose and I'm getting 4th if I win. And then
If you
lose.
make final 3.
If I make final 3, I'm getting 2 votes and anything else is a crapshoot. It depends on who I'm with, but I'm looking at 3 votes out of what is it, 9 people on jury? I'm not getting a majority. I'm not getting a third of the votes. That's a fact. That's Lipton.
So 9 people on jury.
10.
3 votes, correct? 9 people on jury at the very end, if it's a final 3, correct? Are
No,
we
it's 10, I
100%
think.
sure
It would be
it's not a
10.
final? What?
it would be 10.
It would be 10 people on jury at final 3.
Yeah.
So theoretically, if it were a final 2, 11 people would be on the jury.
Yes.
So it could still be a final 2 scenario, correct?
Yeah.
we said we ruled. Lauren said everyone's pretty much ruled it out, but a final two with an odd number jury would ensure a non-tie, which I don't know. So are we all 100% positive that this is going to be a final three? Or,
That's what
or if it isn't a final three, I feel like one of the core might be setting themselves up to get Sareed and Micronesia. But I'm just going to end questions here. I really can't ask any further questions because no one in the core wants to say that they're on the bottom, and no one thinks they're on the bottom. So I really can't assess the situation further than what I've assessed it. But to me, it seems like that if what I'm hearing is true, this vote will be straightforward. One last question, of course. Idols. Does anyone think anyone has? Do we think they're all gone?
No, they're not.
No, board reset last night.
What?
Board reset last night. Anybody could have one again.
Okay. So I guess another question is, and you can all learn from my mistake, is because I assumed, well, I didn't assume, I assumed that there weren't many idols left, so I'd be safe. So if an idol is
think
played,
Deshaun had an idol?
what?
You didn't think Deshaun had an idol that
No,
tribal?
because he had played fucking 15 throughout the whole goddamn show. I didn't think he had a 16th up his sleeve, but he did, unfortunately. So I guess you just have to, I guess what I'm guessing is if someone has an idol, it's just too bad. No one's thinking about idols. Can't really split the votes. Well, you could.
Not enough people.
What?
Right.
There's not enough people for that.
There's not enough people to split the votes?
If it's
It only
Or-
takes one person to ruin everything.
Okay.
So you don't trust your core.
I mean, there is enough people to split the votes if everyone trusts each other.
Right.
It would go down 2 to 2 to 2. Those three can't revote. The two people in the core, outside of the core, wouldn't be able to vote in the revote. So theoretically, splitting the votes is an actual option. But it seems like no one has.
You really want to give Eli and Will a chance to get back into the game? Break up the core by being the one that's left?
Well, the thing is, I'm just, from my perspective, if the core is as strong as you think it is, and everyone else has, and anyone can have an idol, then best case scenario would be to split the votes 2-2-2. Two people, Will and Eli, wouldn't be able to vote in the revote, and the one person they voted couldn't vote. Then 3 members from the core could essentially decide out of Will and Eli who goes home. If Will or Eli played an idol, then
You're right.
so I'm just saying it seems a little fishy that everyone's tight, a tight 4, but splitting votes isn't going to happen. Apparently, we don't know. We get the
It
votes.
could
So now
happen.
it could happen. Okay. At 10:22, y'all have till 10:28 to confirm your votes. If you do confirm your votes earlier, we can read the votes faster. So yeah, just send production and Hunter the voting so that they can actually send me a full typed out list of the final votes. So I don't want to fuck anything up. So.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. Hunter, when the votes are confirmed, let me know.
Oh my god. Do I have to message him?
Message your production chat, yeah.
Oh
Unless
my
you all
god.
want to stay on calls.
Oh my gosh. I
I
don't know.
just wouldn't want to like be like on call, like, oh, I'm changing my vote. You know what I'm saying? If you were changing your vote, might cause pandemonium. I can confirm in my season I never swapped my vote. It's just pray for the best.
Well, you didn't go through a tribal like that one that we had, where we had 4 like votes and revotes and.
No, but we did go through a tribal where it's very hard to explain, but basically I had won a meet and the other side had like 3 idols. It was a hot mess, but in the end, Darius ended up voting out Colin, his ally, which I found hilarious. And still made finals, so. But no, we have not had a tacky reset twist that involved a 80,000 minute tribal council. No, that did not happen in my season. I doubt it will ever happen again, watching how much of a hot mess that was.
And that's the essence.
Hunter, can you confirm the final vote count? When you get a chance. Is Hunter even there? I just saw him post. Dun. Fucking production, come on. Has everyone messaged their production chat?
I did not. Lauren, can you sober up enough to answer PMs?
Everybody's fucking PMing me. I don't know what to do. Can we like, I don't know.
Pardon?
I don't know what to fucking do.
Yeah, me and I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do.
Well, I'm gonna give 1 more minute and then I'll read the votes.
Just give me a minute.
And if you have not confirmed, you need to confirm, please.
Hi, League of Legends. I hear that.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to hop in the rift. I just carried a game. It was me and I was playing with a bunch of plat people, and I went misfortune and slayed things. But approximately 30 more seconds.
Shout out to Tyler. I love him.
Have you messaged your production chat, Lauren?
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep it the same.
Okay, please. I was about to say, please message your production chat before you
I'm
give
just
shout
gonna
outs.
keep the same, or I'm
Alright.
gonna change it like 20 times. Like I can't look at it. I really can't.
Just waiting on the final go from production, and then I'll go collect the urn and read the votes.
It's been fine.
Shout out Adam and Alex and Tito, Lena.
Lena? Who the hell is Lena? It's Leah. Leia.
No,
Rip
Allie
Carlina.
and
Oh.
he calls me daddy in all the live chats.
You?
No idea who this is though.
Imagine calling. I can't. No one ever asked me for a fucking shout out. Fuck you, Tengage Public.
Well, clearly Tito's not up your ass in PMs every day.
Whose ass isn't he up? Okay. With that, the votes are locked, and I will go get the urn. All right. Once I read the votes, the voted off person has just a couple minutes to say their goodbye, grab their torch, and leave the tribal council area. Before I read the votes, would anyone like to play a hidden immunity idol?
Hi, no, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, Will, you look a little smug over there.
Anyone? All right. With that, I will now read the votes. There are 6 votes tonight. 4 is majority. Unless it goes 3 to 2 to 1, then 3 is majority. First vote, Will. Maybe I should put it on me. Will. Second vote, Leia. That's 1 vote Will, 1 vote Leia. Next vote, Leia. That's 2 votes Leia, 1 vote Will, 3 votes left. Fourth vote, Will. That's 2 votes Will, 2 votes Leia, 2 votes left. Fifth vote, Will. 3 votes Will, 2 votes Leia, 1 vote left. Next person voted off of T-Vivor Broadway, Will. Will, 4 is enough. Please bring me your torch.
No hard feelings. Congrats to everyone. I knew I was going home. I just like to say that I hope like certain 3 of you make final 3. There's like 3 people max, maybe 4 people who I'd vote at the end. So you better step up because there's definitely some of you who definitely need to make a move soon if you want a chance at winning this game. Yeah, good luck everyone. No hard feelings.
Will, before you go,
Yes.
thank you for telling me to play my idol at Final 13.
You're
or whatever it
welcome.
was.
Clearly it didn't pay off. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
All right, we're down to 5. Congratulations. Either 2 more tribal councils or 3 more tribal councils to go. I can now confirm the next person voted off gets my spot. So that will be fun. I hope I get a host of tribal council. That was my demise. But Dev, Eli, Billy, Lauren, and Leia, you can grab your torches and head back to camp. And I'm sure Levanini will be contacting you shortly.
So what was your announcement that you had to make then?
Oh, my announcement was just a fake announcement that you're going to the tribal council right after this. I just
Never
mainly
mind.
wanted to scare the people that were on call. No, I don't have that authority. But if I did, I would make y'all, but I don't. So with that, I'll see you whenever I host another tribal council. And good luck everyone left in the game.